Acknowledge me!
You just made the list!
I am the B-E-S-T.
I'm better than you, and you know it. Damn.
Ladies, gentlemen, and those in between, we are here in Madison Square Garage around the pool table of relevancy for another brand new episode of Down Under the Mat podcast. To my left, we have Daniel Danielson. To my right, we have Booker Teddy Bear. Ted's away doing what?
He's being a great partner for our producer Morgan. He's just looking after her for her birthday.
Oh,
Booker Ted, no! Ooh, we saved him.
That's what I get for patting him. I am also Rowdy Roddy Reece, returning from leave. Hooray! It's good to be back.
We missed you.
It was a good holiday, but it's nice to be back.
It was Adelaide, wasn't it?
Yeah. Adelaide's really nice, despite what people say.
Yeah, I've heard that it's quite nice. It's got some nice wineries. It's the city of churches. The Hilltop Hoods came from there. Like, I can't see anything wrong with it.
Yeah. No, I was pretty impressed with it. I got a lot of
fun.
vibes from lots of different cities while I was there, because we walked around a lot of the places. Like, we did a road trip over.
You drove?
We drove over.
Ooh.
So the drive there was fine.
Yeah, because you decided to go to your holiday.
Yeah, exactly. And the drive there went quick. So the first day was nearly 7 hours.
Yeah.
And then the second day was around 5.5 before we got to Adelaide. So that was fine. And then the drive back was a killer. Because like we'd just been in Adelaide for like 6 days or something.
Yeah.
We were doing 15,000 plus steps every day because we were walking tons of places. Yeah. But like we went to the zoo, we went for a stroll into the city, all sorts of stuff. And then the drive back was terrible, especially the last day being the 7-hour day. We went from...
You didn't switch it around this time. You did a long day first, then the short day second.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
It was rough. But yeah, it was a good holiday.
Yeah, good. That's what you've been up to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't had any holidays to Adelaide or anything super exciting. So
You've got a couple coming up.
Yeah, I do. But the most exciting thing for me, I think, this weekend was finishing some more Christmas decorations to annoy Booker Ted. Because I know how much he's going to love that. It's not December yet, Teddy, but I'm still doing it. Don't care.
I watched last week's episode earlier this week, and he's such a Grinch.
He really
ridiculous.
is. Yeah.
So I decided to proceed to send all the Christmas stuff that we put up in the chat just to annoy him.
Looks good. It has looks nice.
Got tons of stuff.
The highlight for me, though, was last night. Those in Canberra know there was a concert in Canberra called Spilt Milk.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And so it's like a festival thing. But Post Malone was headlining. And,
he was.
And my son loves Post Malone.
I contemplated going.
I contemplated going just for him, but I wasn't going to spend $200 on tickets just to go see Post.
My exact thoughts.
So instead, we drove around Epic as much as we could at like 10 o'clock at night and could just listen to his set from outside of the stadium.
That's smart.
You didn't hear a lot, but he heard like enough songs that now he can go to school on Monday and tell his friends that he listened to Post Malone on the weekend. So
nice.
Proud of that one.
Good bragging rights there.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's roll into it. What have we got this week for news? We'll start with news, yes?
Yeah. I think one of the biggest things, I've seen some articles coming out, MJF has quietly re-signed with AEW until the end of 2027 from reports. There were also apparently zero talks with WWE at all, and WWE officials noted that the whole free agency spiel was a false narrative. So,
you mean the bidding war of 2024?
Yes, 100%. So...
I think this story is true. I think that he has resigned.
Oh, 100%.
Do I think WWE didn't reach out? No, I think that's not true. I think 100% Triple H or somebody has put a call in and said, look, hey, is this what's happening? Like, we want to at least talk to him.
Yeah.
But I don't think the way that AEW have positioned MJF now as like he is their show.
Yeah.
There's
no chance that he's going anywhere else except staying.
And they wouldn't be playing this kind of storyline for him if he was leaving. Unless he's losing it to Samoa Joe at World's End and his contract does finish on January 1.
Yeah, I'd be surprised. I feel like that's one of the like lesser stories that would actually be beneficial for MJF losing the title. Like we've got so much going on at the moment. We've got the Samoa Joe stuff, which should hopefully come to a head at World's End, and then that's the end of that chapter.
But then there's still Adam Cole. There's
still Adam Cole. There's still the Devil. Like there's still a lot of good stories that will make people tune in, and it's a lot of good work for MJF to have in AEW.
Yeah.
So I think for all that to wrap up before his contract is done at the end of January,
Yeah,
I don't think
they're
it's going to
rushing.
happen.
Yeah,
So
agree.
he's definitely going to be staying.
You weren't here last week, obviously. We already touched on that. So
Yeah.
you weren't here for our full gear review.
I haven't watched it.
You haven't watched the whole pay-per-view, but you've seen all the highlights and stuff. I'm just interested to get your inputs. So a couple of the key points, talking points that came out of that pay-per-view. There's two things. So we'll talk about the Texas Death Match second.
Yeah, sounds good.
But the first thing that a lot of people have brought up and have been talking about is the MJF main event. There was meant to be MJF versus Jay White, which if you book that on paper and let the two guys just have a really good wrestling match, probably would have been a good match.
Yeah.
But they played the injury angle, they played Adam Cole, they overbooked it. People have come out and said that MJF scented this main event, so it was a bit too much.
Would
What's
be
your
inclined
thoughts?
to agree with that. Because,
Yeah.
like, I didn't watch it, however, I was getting updates, like, through the chat and then through social media and all that sort of stuff while the pay-per-view was happening live. And after the 0 hour, after the tag title match, and them writing off MJF and then having Adam Cole come out, I was like, what are they doing? Like, it made zero sense. And then for him to then come back in an ambulance and be in the match anyway, I feel like that was pointless.
Yeah,
They
it was
could have just
overbooked.
kept him in the match. he would have had the numbers disadvantage anyway, because I'm sure the guns would have been at ringside for the match, right?
If they didn't get kicked out of it, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So there was no need to write in that injury angle, and it does give the vibe of a Super Cena type thing.
Yep. No, I agree. I mean, the press conference afterwards, which we made a joke that we'd try and record the podcast and get it up in time before Tony Khan finished. 2 hours, 45 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, was his post-match press conference.
Usually WWE keep theirs under an hour, right?
No. His was nearly 3 hours. His was almost as long as a WWE pay-per-view.
That's too long. And also, like, MJF's reaction during his segment, I thought
That's what I wanted
was a
to
bit
touch
weird.
on, was MJ. Well, I mean,
I
he
didn't
came
watch
out-
the full segment, but I saw highlights of him just, like, explaining, like, how much he loves the sport and then, like, breaking down and all that sort of
eating
stuff. I thought
pickles the whole time.
him and bloody
He loves his
man.
pickles. I think the key thing to that was how emotional he was, and he was legit. I think that was legitimately Maxwell being emotional. I don't
Yeah.
think that was MJF.
I think that was the
That was
person,
Max.
not the character, for sure.
And the way that he said how much he loves the business and the story that he told around the person being bullied and stuff, and how the ageism comment. Did you see that part of it?
No.
So he made a really good comment around, someone asked a question around ageism and how, because he's so young, like, you know, he shouldn't be sort of running the show or being the champion and stuff. And he said, look, just because I'm young doesn't mean that I'm not the best wrestler in the world, I'm not the best AEW champion ever. Like, you shouldn't be basing that off age.
Yeah.
And then he spoke to one of the journos that were there and said, look, you know, if you've been doing this for 25 years, that doesn't make you the best journalist in the room. Someone who's been here for 2 or 3 years that is really passionate about this business and has studied it really well can be as good as a journo as you can. We've got to stop being ageist in all workplaces.
Yeah.
And he goes, it's very common that you see it in AEW. And I think a point that Booker Ted and I made last week, specifically around Moxley, was it seems like AEW, you have to go through like a war of attrition to be accepted. You have to go through all of these hard matches, you have to bleed, you have to do this, that, the other. They kind of only really respect those workers that have done it all, whereas MJF hasn't.
No.
He's much younger, he's much newer. And I mean, Julia Hart, they gave the title to a 22-year-old girl, right? So AEW...
That was one thing I was shocked about with the pay-per-view.
Yeah. But I think AEW are proving that, you know, age isn't a thing for them at all because they're putting titles on younger people, which
now
is
they are.
really good. Yeah. They're also bringing back, you know, they're giving Sting, a 64-year-old man, like a retirement tour. They're bringing back a 1,000-year-old Ric Flair.
When's his retirement again?
Revolution's March.
Right, okay.
Next year?
I thought it was Full Gear, and I was like, that doesn't sound right.
Nah, it's still.
Right,
But like,
right.
but I think that's the thing. And it was like, you want to watch, don't watch 3 hours of Tony Khan talking because it's really awkward.
Yeah.
But that 25 minutes of Adam Cole and MJF when they were there, that was a really good interview. And they had a good interview with Will Ospreay too, just telling him how he's excited to be there, and he loves bruv, and he wants to do
Yeah, like
more
that-
things
that's-
for the business, bruv.
I think MJF getting emotional about the whole ageism thing, like, it's very warranted with the position that he's in and the effort that he's putting in. Like, I've been reading books lately, like, since I went on holiday, and I've read the Dave Grohl autobiography. I'm currently reading through the Lemmy one, the singer from Motorhead.
okay.
In both of those books, they're always talking about you don't get anywhere if you don't have the drive and the passion to get there.
Yep.
MJF's definitely got that.
100%
Look at the
does.
accolades that he's got with his career already after he's only been in like a major promotion for 4 years now.
Yeah.
youngest AEW champ, longest reigning AEW champ, most successful defenses as AEW champion as well. Like that's nothing to look
sneeze
over.
at.
Exactly. Like,
Well, I think, hang on, I just want to try and find this statistic here. Here we go. So I want to look at this. So I just want to compare this year's run.
I see that.
You see it? You see what I'm talking about here? Of MJF. Like he has previously not been a massive worker, I guess, for AEW. He's had his matches. But like, the last 3 pay-per-views, he's wrestled a tag match and the main event match or something like that. So
He's double duty.
He's double duty on a whole bunch of pay-per-views. So he is definitely putting the work in.
Yeah.
You want to compare him to Roman Reigns as the WWE Universal Global Megastar Champion.
Just rolls off the tongue.
We'll go from 2020 because 2020 we'll write out the stuff before it when he wasn't necessarily the tribal chief and he wasn't the main point, right? But he had 145, 130 matches a year previous to the pandemic. Pandemic, obviously, he was much less because of his illnesses and whatnot.
Unless there's no house shows, essentially.
Correct.
Because house shows really rack up those numbers.
They 100% do, yeah. Because you're doing 2 or 3 house shows a week kind of thing. Yeah. So, 2021, Roman Reigns had 61 matches for WWE. 2022, he had 52 matches for WWE.
And then this year...
That's 365 days in a year, just so we're all remember.
We're all aware.
Okay, cool. 2023, the tribal chief Roman Reigns has had 11 matches.
That's pretty crazy.
MJF's had that in the last 2 months.
Yeah.
Like,
it's crazy.
I love the tribal chief. I love the story of the bloodline and where it's got. But it's dying because he's not there anymore, man.
Yeah. It really suffers when he's not on the show. But when he is on the show, it's like everything's perfect again.
Yeah, I agree. But I think the problem, and we'll maybe talk about it in the SmackDown breakdown later on, is that I don't think the bloodline story works as well when Roman's not there. Exactly what you said. Yeah. So don't keep trying to give us bits of Jimmy and bits of Solo because we don't care as much. Either have them all there
Jimmy,
or not have them there.
Yeah. It's just, now that Jimmy and Jay are separated and on different shows and they're just trying to like boost Jimmy up, it's not working the way that...
No, because you've set main event JO set it here and you're trying to get
like,
Jimmy from here up there and it's just not happening.
I feel like we still haven't really gotten like the payoff for Jimmy turning on Roman, then turning on Jay and being the back in the bloodline. And like, I feel like that hasn't really been explained and resolved properly.
Roman's not there to explain.
So it's just like, and then when Roman came back and he was just like chilling in the room with Jimmy, it's like nothing ever happened. Like never turned on him, never fought them in a tag title match. Oh, just a tag team match at one of the pay-per-views as well. It just like doesn't.
There's the one. Yeah,
it doesn't make sense.
What other news have we got? I've got some AEW stuff.
You mentioned we were going to talk about the death match.
We were going to talk about the death match. What's your opinions on that one? So,
hopefully we get time to watch it after this.
Dave Meltzer gave it 5 stars as expected because he loves that kind of stuff.
That's the first problem.
Look, from all of the podcasts and YouTube channels and everything else that I listen to and watch, a lot of people saying and it's a good match of the year contender, greatest death match they've ever seen. I can see it. I think for what Ted and I, when we discussed it last week, it was a bit much for us.
Yeah.
But also, I think we recorded like straight after it, and it was still sitting really fresh, like all of those horrible spots and stuff. Looking back at the highlights and things now, apart from like the blood dripping in his mouth during the Triple H bit, the rest of the blood match was pretty good.
Yeah,
like the barbed wire chairs and tables. It was a bit of overkill in some of the spots.
I did see the spot where Swerve wrapped the chain around Hangman's neck and like
the finishing
spot.
Him out. Yeah. I mean, there was a couple of.
I saw that in a TikTok where some guy was like yelling at the TV as he's doing that, but he was just like making racial comments, like the reverse of like America's history sort of thing, and I was like,
glad it's you and not me.
Yeah.
There's a couple of and the spot. I don't know if you saw the spot where he whacked him on the back with the barbed wire chair, and the barbed wire running around his face and caught under his.
Yeah,
that was a bit.
Jesus.
But yeah, I think the general consensus online is it was a good match, but the couple of the spots were a bit too much. And we'll go into AEW next. But my first point that I wrote before, so the way that we do the podcast, right, guys, is we write notes on each of the shows. I generally do most of the notes for the AEW stuff. Reese's got NXT. Teddy does SmackDown. Teddy's not here, so we're going to do Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah.
Most of Reese's going to
We're going to try to do it as well as he does.
The first note I wrote down for AEW before anything had happened. Like the start of the week, I put down each of the show names. The first comment I wrote under AEW was, "I swear to God, if we see Swerve or Hangman on this show, ...
Guess who started the show?
We'll get back to that in a second. Yeah. So, what were your thoughts on the fallout, I guess, of that death match?
Yeah.
And specifically drinking blood and doing.
Yeah. So specifically that spot, I read a couple of articles during the week that was approved by AEW officials. So it was put forth as a spot by Swerve and Hangman to the match producer who approved it, and there's your first problem to begin with, because like this day and age with the amount of blood-borne diseases that we have going around, like straight up should not have happened.
I don't think I have a problem with that if it's Hangman's blood going into his own mouth and he Triple H's it.
But someone else's, like, that's where I draw the line. Like
drinking someone else's blood.
Yeah, like when people like wipe someone else's blood off and then do the chest thing,
fine.
that's fine. Like that's whatever. But like, and he got it into his fucking eye too.
He went all in.
I just don't understand why you would want to do that in the first place. I suppose just to drum up drama and
for this exact reason for us to talk about.
Exactly. So like that got approved by the match producer, and apparently the reception for that spot and the whole match backstage with AEW officials has been very positive and they're very happy.
Tony Khan would have marked the shit out for it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's just crazy.
It's one of those things. It's one of those kind of matches.
I can't wait to actually watch the match.
You either you love it because it's just so brutal and crazy, or you just like, this isn't what I like for wrestling.
Yeah,
it's why there's no one in the middle that's like, yeah, it's fine.
It's like hardcore matches are good, but like there's a certain line. Like when you go back and you look at the match that I think it was JBL and John Cena had, where one of the pictures of John Cena after he won, he head to waist, just full crimson, covered in his own blood. Like that's not stuff that you want to see. That's like where we draw the line. Yeah. Because that's essentially brings in a detriment to people's health and their livelihood when it gets to that sort of stage. Like that's to the extreme.
I'm all for a little bit of colour. But it's like
small doses.
When it's dripping and like gushing out of you, like that's a little blood loss.
That's a lot. Like that's where the concern comes.
I know how like lightheaded I feel if I get a little cut on my finger, like a paper cut.
It's ridiculous.
Blood, or I stub my toe. Like,
couldn't imagine if like you're in that position and then you like wipe yourself and you just blood everywhere. I can't imagine.
No, agree.
Can't imagine.
What else do I have for news? I have the AEW stuff. The other stuff is the Young Bucks. So they obviously lost to the Golden Jets at Full Gear.
Was that a good match? I haven't heard much about that match.
Well, the problem was everything from that entire pay-per-view was overshadowed by MJF's overbooked main event and the blood match. That's it. It's all everyone talks about. Everything else is kind of overshadowed.
Yeah.
The Golden Jets match was good. Like, it was quite a good tag match. Some of the spots they did with Omega was really nice. But then the storyline afterwards is the Young Bucks threw a tantrum, smashed up the arena.
That I did see.
Hit the chairs around things. And then now supposedly they're going to take some time off. So Brandon Cutler, who's obviously a really good source for the Young Bucks on Twitter, has pretty much said that they're taking some time off due to personal reasons. I think it's probably warranted. I did see a couple of weeks ago that they were also removed as EVPs off the AEW website. So I don't know whether that's a thing that they're sort of stepping back a little bit.
Or was
Kenny's still there. It's just the Bucks.
I wonder what's going on there.
And then there's also talks now that supposedly BTE behind the Elite is done.
Yeah.
And so that's probably a bigger story than them taking time off TV, because BTE was around, 2016?
Oh, it's been around for
like they announced
a long time now.
They announced AEW on BTE.
Yeah.
So if that is done and they're finishing with that, that's a big thing in terms of internet wrestling community. Like that has always been a really big part for a lot of people. So interested to see how that plays out with the Bucks. And obviously they have to come back as heels.
Yeah, 100%.
Which I think they're better at.
Yeah, definitely. I've enjoyed like what I've seen from them as they're doing their slow turn on. Well, as they were doing their slow turn on Kenny and Chris,
Jericho.
So.
Yeah, for sure. All right, two more things. Do you want to do your news first before I bring up mine?
Yeah.
Mine's a little bit foreshadowed.
Yeah.
Don't know why.
And I feel like my news isn't exactly that fantastic. So we've got something about everyone's favourite former WWE diva, Eva Marie.
I saw this story.
Hooray!
So
man. She got on X, she got tweeted at, do you want to see Eva Marie make a WWE comeback?
No.
Well, exactly.
That's my answer,
Nobody
no.
really. She replied to this tweet So I'll read her exact tweet that she's tweeted.
Yeah.
As the highest paid female WWE superstar, my contract could only activate after a series of talent releases in order to free up the capital to cover my contract. But I am down. Who would WWE cut in order to afford bringing me back?
I mean,
Let's cut nobody.
no. Look, if we want Eva back, let's get rid of Becky, get rid of Charlotte, and Eva can just fill in that hole.
Yeah. All right.
She's the most paid diva, right?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't we? No, God, no. No, thank you. Go enjoy TNA.
I read that and I was like, that's the dumbest thing that I've heard all year in the wrestling world.
Oh, yeah,
Dumbest
because
thing.
she was never a really good worker.
No.
She was never a great character at all.
A superstar, like a spectacle, maybe? But
To a degree, yeah.
Yeah, it's just...
I mean, there was the other stuff in the news. Did you see about, what was the story? There's a new TV show or something in America that Michael Cole was plugging on the USA Network. It was
yeah.
hosted by some dude and
Nikki Garcia.
Yeah.
Nikki
Former
Bella.
Nikki Bella. But they cut her out of the shot, didn't mention her at all.
Yeah, but she was in the trailers for the... Whoops.
She was in the trailers, but
Yeah.
they didn't mention her at all on actual WWE TV. So I think she came out and said it was a little bit sad. They spent 16 years there and they're kind of ignoring them, so to speak, which is probably true, but... You know,
It is what it is, I guess.
they've not had the best of relationships with WWE since they've left and stuff, so doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, not at all. That's all.
It's all your news.
Yeah, that's all we talk about. That.
Well, the only other news, I was obviously wearing the CM Punk shirt because we all know he's going to return at Survivor Series tonight.
I'm choosing to accept the fact that he won't show up. So then if he doesn't,
It's too many
I won't be
years.
disappointed. But if he does, I can mark
Pop
out and
like
be
a
happy.
bitch, yeah.
100%.
CM
But
Punk's WWE
it's just,
confirmed.
there's so much going around. There's so many references. There's so many articles saying they've absolutely had no talk. Officials have come out and said there's been no contact with CM Punk at all. They've gone around telling talent, like top level talent, he's not coming. There's just too much on both sides of the fence. It's just
funniest
it's
part
a
of this,
lot.
Reece, the funniest part is this podcast that we are releasing, because Booker Ted has to edit it and then upload it for us, thanks Teddy, it's probably going to be released after our Survivor Series podcast goes
Yes.
out. So we're going to have known.
Yeah.
But right now we're recording this pre-Survivor Series.
Yes,
and I'm still
we
in the
usually
hopes-
film this post pay-per-view.
Yeah, we're doing it pre, because last time when we did wonder what's going to happen from these AEW stories, we already knew what happened on Full Gear.
So Dan took one for the team, and he woke up early this morning so we could get this
Woke
done
up
before
early.
Survivor Series.
8:30 a.m. God, look at me.
I woke up at 3:30.
But yeah, the point that I'm making in the news was that Living Colour,
yes, I
the
did see
band
this.
that do the Cult of Personality song, remastered and re-released a version of Cult of Personality on November 24th, 2023.
Yes, yesterday.
Literally the day before Survivor Series.
Like that's too coincidental. Come on, guys. It's like when Rev Theory re-released Randy Orton
Randy's,
one
yeah.
a couple months back. That was a dead giveaway that he's coming back at some point. So like, for Cult of Personality to be remastered and re-released a day before Survivor Series,
holding on hope.
come on.
And the other one,
It's
the
almost too obvious.
Instagram post that was released pre-Survivor Series was Bailey, who loves doing this. Bailey does this all the time on the internet. She's absolutely an internet wrestling nerd. She knows exactly what we're going to bite with. She put up a post just saying, "I've always had a plan," and it was a picture of what
Always have a plan.
her, Asuka, somebody, and Sasha Banks.
Sasha Banks.
Sasha Banks, in her post, saying, "I always have a plan." Mate, if WWE can somehow pull off the coup of having Randy Orton, CM Punk, and Sasha Banks return on the same night, that AEW is trying to compete against them with Rampage and Collision, they're going to get stomped so hard, it's not even funny.
Could you imagine if Sasha Banks comes back tonight as well as Randy? And
As
then
well as
Zig-
CM Punk.
like it's just the fact that AEW is going to put Rampage and Collision up against a pay-per-view of this caliber. Who are they trying to prove?
Just against
Like,
a
what are
pay-per-view.
they-
Like,
I
it's dumb business.
Can't wait to see the numbers that come out after this.
Oh, it's gonna be...
You watch all the Mud Show marks ring up new excuses for why their ratings weren't that great.
Well, did you see? So I shared a post in our chat just around the ticket numbers. So Dynamite this week on Wednesday was held in the Chicago area, not the All-State Arena where Survivor Series, SmackDown stuff is. They just ticked over 5,000 tickets for Dynamite. So if you have a look at, like, if you watched Dynamite, which we'll talk about in a second, the whole top section of the crowd was tarped off. It's all black, and they had a decent crowd around the bottom, but the whole park done 5,000 people. SmackDown on Friday night, 15,500 people.
That's a good setup that they did, though.
And they had to pull that sign, the LED sign, down so they could fit more people behind it.
Yeah.
So
I really
same
like
as
that.
Survivor Series. So they're going to have, 35,000 people there in 2 nights. AEW got 5,000.
Yeah.
I think we all know who's winning this war.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to
AEW.
AEW.
I have lots of notes for AEW.
You do
actually.
have notes for AEW. Oh, it's fantastic. All right, let's.
Well, like I watched Raw last week, and then I was on holiday. I didn't watch NXT. I didn't watch Dynamite. I didn't even watch SmackDown last week. I just
No, you mean the week before?
no last week.
Yeah, as in like not like yesterday, but like the week before.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I meant. Okay. Well, you're on holidays, man. I wouldn't expect you to have to watch everything. It's fine. We got.
It's kind of nice having a
Me
bit
and
of a
Booker
break.
Ted got you. It's like this week. I only Ted's watched nothing because he never does.
Yeah.
Love you, Teddy. All right, so AEW. So the point I made before.
Yeah.
Swear to God, if we swear by Hangman. And I was out to dinner. So I was out to dinner with some mates on Wednesday night, sitting down, having a nice burger and some nice things. It was great. We were at a sports bar, and so they had ESPN on.
Yeah.
We were watching the ice hockey on one screen. There was the basketball on another screen. And then got to about 9 o'clock, and it switched over from one of the basketball games finished to ESPN2, which was Dynamite.
Yeah.
So I'm in a bar. I can't hear the TV. So I have no context for what's happening. I was like, oh, Dynamite's starting. I better go watch that when I get home.
Yeah.
All I can see on the screen is a minute after the show starts is Swerve Strickland walking to the ring. And I was just like, what?
Not looking that battered and bruised.
Didn't
at all
hobble.
either.
No massive bandages. His shoulder taped up. So what? Everybody has their shoulders
Yeah.
taped up. Orange Cassidy had that
Oh,
for
man.
7 months. Who cares? What the hell are you doing starting this tournament with Swerve Strickland 3 days after that death match?
It's I don't have
don't
the
get
words,
it.
man. I don't have the words. Like I haven't watched the match, but like the spots that I've seen, it was a ridiculously tolling match.
Yeah.
I mean, they just come out, start the show, and act like nothing ever happened.
And like, I mean, I know in the match with Jay Lethal, he kind of sold his arm as like that. Oh, that's the one injury I've got. Dude got stapled all over his body. He was smashed with a barbed wire chair. He went through tables. He bloody 450 glass onto the back of Hangman. Nah, I'm gonna cut on him. Didn't even sell it. Like, I don't understand it. And as much as I love the idea of like a G1 type tournament, which is this Continental Classic is, I don't, and I can't even fathom how difficult it would be to book a 12-man tournament because you got to know that the last couple of matches have to be the pivotal ones, that this person's on 9 points, this one's on 8 points, and whoever wins is going to go forward. So you really have to book every match from the start all the way through to know how it's going to go.
Yeah.
But you start off with Swerve, who's a heel, versus Jay Lethal,
Who's also
a heel.
Yeah.
Like, that's not the match to kick this off with.
No.
Then later
But
on, there's Roosh.
It was a good match.
It was a good match. Then there's Roosh versus Jay White.
Yeah, Roosh. Got to remember, not Rush, Roosh.
Heel versus heel.
Yeah.
And then you have Moxley and Mark Briscoe.
Two faces.
Technically, well, technically, he's heel.
I don't know. Everyone loves Moxley. It's a similar sort of vibe with Rhea. She's playing a heel at the moment, but
Yeah.
everyone loves her.
Yes.
It's the same with John Moxley. Blackpool Combat Club is a heel faction, but everyone
Yeah.
likes them, so they're kind of
yeah, true.
dancing
But
that
I just
line.
think the booking for these matches just was bad.
Yeah.
And
But like you're gonna have that at some point if you're gonna do a tournament like that. It's just
Oh,
it'll
yeah,
happen at
100%
some
you
point.
do.
But like
At some
it
point,
all
they're gonna
happening
have
on
to
the same night is a bit like you
the
could have played it a
opening
little
night
better.
is my point.
Yeah.
Like the first lot of matches. I'm not a huge fan of that. I did notice though. Did you see that when they started Dynamite, there was the Woo Energy stuff all over the
Yeah, I
screen?
did see-
And then they were all across the commentary desk in front of them was a Woo
Yeah.
Energy. And Ric Flair's got his foot in the door already.
Yeah, I reckon that was part of the contract for sure.
Oh, had to be.
But yeah, that match in particular, I actually really enjoyed the fact that they were both picking apart a certain body part of their opponent throughout the whole match. Good
Yeah.
storytelling.
It was, and the good thing that they've made a point for the classic, because it is like the G1 Classic, is that nobody's at ringside.
Yeah.
It is a one-on-one.
Yeah, no, that was a good choice.
So there was no Jay Lethal. There was, no Jeff Jarrett. There was no Prince Nana. As much as I missed the swerve when I drive, because that would have been fun. But everyone missed it, of course.
Yeah.
But I mean, he did go through a table, so he probably shouldn't be on Dynamite either.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the stretch muffler Boston Crab hybrid that Swerve did
Yeah.
on Jay Lethal. Like, never seen anything like that before.
Look, Swerve
Fantastic.
needs to win his tournament.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. That's one of the notes that I was going to mention. Like, with how he's gone after the death match, how he's gaining such momentum and popularity with the audience as well. and then having a strong performance to open the tournament shortly after that death match. There's no other option but to have Swerve win this tournament.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think
At
you
least
can give
his
anyone
bracket.
else.
So I mean,
Yeah.
you look at this bracket, which we've said is Danielson, Briscoe. Oh, not Danielson. Moxley, Briscoe, Roosh, Jay White, Swerve, and Lethal.
Yeah.
It's got to end with Swerve versus Moxley, and you think Swerve wins.
Yeah.
The second bracket, let me try and remember all these. Daniel Garcia, Andrade, Danielson, Claudio.
Is Cassidy in it?
No,
I can't remember.
damn it! And I was so confident too.
It's all right.
Determined we we're going to get through it. Anyway, talk about the Adam Cole and MJF promo
Oh,
when they both hobbled out and did the boom bit, because that was pretty funny.
shit was pretty good. That was a great promo. This got pretty decent length.
Got a big chunk of time.
Yeah.
Especially being in Chicago too. And I loved the line when Samoa Joe did come out saying that, you know, it wouldn't be the first time I'd beat a former ROH champion in Chicago.
Yeah. Nice little
Popping the CM Punk line.
Yeah. But yeah, that's where we confirmed the title match for World's End. After he
Yes.
declined a match tonight because he wants MJF at 100%.
Yeah, which I'm all for.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea.
Good, top-notch work budget.
The blue, obviously, so the blue side is Danielson, Andrade, Brody King,
Oh, yeah.
Claudio, Daniel Garcia, and Eddie Kingston, who's put up all his titles as a dumb idiot champion who's just given everybody all his champions for no apparent reason. I don't understand. I've never understood.
Has there been any sort of like online article or promo from Eddie explaining why he vacated his titles?
He put it in at Full Gear last week. He said that he is going to put his titles up throughout the tournament. So if anybody beats him, they'll get his titles. And so me and Ted were thinking, like that means, so if Claudio beats him in the first week, then Claudio is the champion.
Yeah.
And then if Claudio then faces Danielson the week after, then Danielson's the no, that's not what they're doing.
No, they're just going to have
The winner just gets the-
get all three titles.
But which means that Kingston might not even lose the final.
Why are they bringing in the AEW title? They're oversaturated for titles as it is. You've got the trios tag champions. You've got the tag champions.
Yep.
We've got the TBS women's champion.
Yep.
You've got the women's champion.
Yep.
You've got the TNT championship.
Yep.
The international championship.
Yep.
We're going to have the continental and then the AEW world
And the
championship.
FTW.
I don't give a shit about that title.
Yeah, but yeah, it's
it's-
title. And then
Yeah.
you've also got the Ring of Honor, the Pure Strong, which is what Eddie's putting in. And then you've got
just in AEW,
the Ring of Honor
alone,
trios,
they've
the Ring of
got
Honor tag team.
Too many championships, and now they're going to have a fifth singles champion.
Well, if you have on this show, later on,
WWE doesn't even have that many
No, it's
singles
not even
championships.
close. There was
It's ridiculous.
when there's the Orange Cassidy, Shibata, and Hook match, and all three of them have titles
Yeah.
that they're not defending in the matches. They're just walking around with a prop. It's just it's a prop.
Oh, it's
it's
just-
ridiculous.
Especially the FTW one. Taz only brought it in so his son could get it.
Well, yeah, that's what Taz does, though. I did think, though, that this promo was really good.
Yeah, did you notice? I've seen some stuff since then. I didn't notice it watching it live, but at the point where the devil pops up on the screen,
Yeah.
you see Adam Cole's hand go into his pocket, and then the lights go out.
I did not see
And then
that.
apparently when it comes back, he's putting something back in his pocket.
Oh, so you reckon he's remote controlling the devil?
Maybe.
Oh, I mean, they definitely tried to do this as the swerve for us that everyone thought it's Adam Cole because every time the devil
Yeah,
popped up,
but
he's
they were
gonna
both
be
in the
there.
ring.
They were both there. How
It could have
we
been a
there?
pre-taped segment.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
interesting.
I'm hooked on that devil storyline to see how that pays off.
Yeah, it's Jungle Boy. Did you hear the laugh?
I've heard that. Jesus
It's
Christ. Oh.
That's going to be so disappointing.
It better not be, I swear to God. The worst payoff ever. Worse than the gobbledygooker.
Whoa, that's a big call.
Yeah. It's a correct call, too.
Quite possibly.
Well, there's just so many theories going around about who the devil's going to be. Like, if you waste it on Jungle Boy.
Oh, Jack Perry. Remember, he's heel now.
Oh, yeah, he's not Jungle Boy anymore.
He's not Jungle Boy. That OC Shibata and Hook versus the JS 2.0. We get into that yet, or?
My single note from that match.
Yeah.
So Hook comes out, Shibata comes out, and then Cassidy comes out, and they all start to make their way down in the ring.
Uh-huh.
Did you see the single pyrotechnic that went off
Yeah.
on the right side of the stage?
I love how casual Orange Cassidy.
so bad.
But also, this is my point of the show where I'll shit on Justin Roberts like I always do.
He was at it again with John Moxley.
John Mox is the worst. When he does
Jesus
that, I can't
Christ.
stand that. But
So bad.
I do kind of like the way that he goes, an Orange Cassidy from wherever,
Wayne, whatever.
That's fine. I'll let you have that one.
Yeah.
That one's good.
That one's acceptable.
This match was alright. The way it started with, I've got a Thanksgiving surprise for everybody, and Danhausen comes
Danhausen's
back.
Way.
Woo! Good on ya. Love you, Danhausen. I
Very,
guess.
very, very nice. Very,
very
evil. I don't know. I still haven't seen his in-ring work, so I'm on the fence.
Obviously haven't.
Crowd loves him though.
I've watched enough of him. I don't understand the spot with Jake Hager and the purple hat. I know that was Hager's old
He
hat.
curses people. Let's see. He curses people. And I don't know.
Did he curse his hat?
I don't know.
Like that seemed like a massive
This is
spot
what I mean.
in the
Like,
match. And I was
I
like,
kind of I kind of understand what he's doing, like his character, but I haven't actually watched it enough to.
Yeah. Did he steal
cursing.
the purple hat though before he got injured or something? Or like
I don't know.
yeah, okay. I didn't understand it. It's fine.
Move on.
It's what it was.
But yeah, the faces won, of course.
The best part of that finish though, I have to admit, was when Shibata and Hook had them both in the sleepers.
And then
they had the
threw 'em
wrong
and swapped
person.
them.
So Hook was legal and he had the illegal person. So
Right.
that's why they
So that's
switched
why
them.
that happened. Okay.
Correct. Because
I wasn't paying
And they
attention.
said that on commentary. They're like, he's got the wrong man. What's he going to do? He's got the wrong man. So they looked at each other like, oh, they switch them around. Then
Great
he gets
spot,
the
though.
finish.
Great
That was a
spot.
really cool finish. Then there is a brilliant promo from the best heel in the
Christian
business
Cage.
right now.
Yeah.
The Patriarchy and Christian.
Yeah.
He comes out with Luchasaurus and Nick Wayne, essentially blames everything that happened to Full Gear on Luchasaurus. Not the fact that he chicken shit and ran out of the ring and left them to, be sacrificial lambs. Essentially he says that he's a big loser and it's all his fault.
Yeah.
So now he's going to rechristen them and give them new names in his image. And he calls Luchasaurus Killswitch.
Yep.
Obviously-
Which is like, let's be
It's
real,
his
that's,
finisher.
that's a much better name anyway.
Pretty sick finish. It's a pretty sick name.
This is obviously going to pay off with Luchasaurus finally turning on
Yes,
Christian Cage.
absolutely.
Can we just have him get rid of the mask and all that shit?
Oh, and stop being a dinosaur?
Yeah.
Maybe. Maybe that's
Come on,
the
just
payoff
do
at the
it.
end, is that
Just
he
do it.
gets out everything.
He's not that ugly. I don't know what
I'm
Christian's
not
talking about.
Luchasaurus. I'm not Killswitch. I'm whatever
Whatever
his
his
name
name
is. Byron Saxton. I don't know. That's not his name.
Can you imagine Byron Saxton
that'd
just
be
comes
so
out on
funny.
stilts?
He just
Oh,
got really
Jesus.
jacked and covered in tattoos for some
Yeah.
reason.
Why not?
And then he calls Nick Wayne the Prodigy.
The Prodigy.
Nick Wayne.
I'm happy with that.
And then
Why is Nick Wayne's mum still
Why
alive?
does his mum come out? Why is she backstage at AEW? And then
Why is
just
she
walks
such
down
a
the
bad
ramp?
actress? Like, oh my god, it's so cringy. Trying to
I
watch
do
her
love
act.
that Christian. He's like, oh, you had your chance, but now get the hell out of my ring.
Yeah.
And then Luchasaurus gets in the way and
Yeah.
defends her, and you go, that's maybe this is the start of that turn.
I thought so. Because
And-
my note was, let's take the mask off. Then I was like, oh, he's going to turn on him.
Yeah.
But then he didn't.
And then he gets shoved into
Yeah.
Nick Wayne's mum. She takes a good bump, and then
Good
they
on
go
her.
to give her the concerto.
Yeah.
And then this is where I thought, surely he gives this to Nick Wayne. Like, you concerto your own mum, right? That's what I thought Christian was going to do. Massive heel heat, do it to his own mum. Gives it to Luchasaurus.
I get that, but like I sort of saw him in the corner behind Luchasaurus. Like he was trying to play it cool. Like I felt like he was not impressed that it was about to happen.
He
but
sold
was
it so well.
Yeah, he did well. Like
the
for such
fact that he just stood there the entire time and just didn't falter at all, didn't like react to his mum, didn't react to Luchasaurus. He is being a really good heel right now because everybody hates the fact your mum is just about to get concerto and you're just standing there doing nothing.
Yeah.
He's getting really good heat for that. Obviously, you think you know him.
Yeah.
Hits and Edge makes the save
Yeah. Makes a save, but then proceeds to demolish her son right
in front of her while she's crying.
Come on, man.
I mean, I think that clearly just
Come
shows that Adam Copeland does not give a shit about
Anybody.
the story of Luchasaurus. He doesn't care about any of that. He's there for Christian and Christian only.
Yeah. For the meager TNT championship.
Yeah, but I don't really think he even cares about the championship. I think he
probably
just cares about Christian. So, I mean, look, is that going to build to Revolution? It's going to build to Full Gear. How long can they keep those two apart?
Yeah. They can't keep it apart until like All Out or Wembley. I feel like
Nah,
it's got to be
that's
done.
way too long.
Yeah, it's got to be done soon.
I think maybe it's.
The World's End is a month away.
I think that's too short.
I feel like. What do they got early next year? Because Revolution's not till March.
Revolution's in March, yeah. AEW pay-per-view schedule. Let's have a look. because I think that it needs more time, but also if they stall this for 3 months, people are they're not gonna stop caring, but people are gonna like, who we just do it now?
Yeah.
So I think that maybe it has to be World's End, and I guess from an AEW
But
business perspective,
that could be match 1 out of 2 or 3.
possibly.
Or probably a 3-peat. Like,
But you also
we
look
all know
at-
how the wrestling world loves doing 3-peats.
You look at there's no WWE. WWE's Survivor Series and then Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
So December,
Oh, well, we got the NXT pay-per-view early in December.
like I
in
said,
a couple
there's
weeks.
Survivor Series and then Royal
Hey,
Rumble.
it's
deadline.
it's
ugh.
deadline.
Who cares?
We're still going to cover it, though.
Yes, there's nothing
Yeah, righto.
until
I know.
Revolution next year. So I think maybe they hit
Yeah.
that lull in pay-per-views and they try and make the World's End or whatever it is the biggest thing they can.
Yeah.
And
And then that'll tie them over until Revolution.
yeah, because they know that they're not going to compete against the Royal Rumble and Elimination Chamber and the WrestleMania. Like you kind of, that's not your period of time to try and compete.
No. Don't even try.
Good segment. I think, and a lot of people will go to other heels, but I think Christian is the best heel in the business right now. I think it's really hard to.
Yeah,
Argue
no,
that point.
I could back that up.
Yeah.
I can't think of anyone else that's doing a better job. It's definitely not the Judgment Day.
No. Dominic Mysterio is pretty good, but I think that's mainly because we want him to be good.
Yeah.
The crowd is making him as good as he is.
Yeah, definitely. All right.
Roosh versus Jay White, yeah, cool
Yeah.
match, whatever.
Yeah. I don't even know who won. It was Jay White, wasn't it?
Jay White won
Yeah,
with a low behind the referee, and then he
Yep.
finished.
I haven't seen Roosh before. Like, I haven't seen any
Yeah.
of his matches. I think he's pretty good in the
He's
ring.
good.
Definitely got some good potential.
This is the thing with AEW though. If you're not watching Collision and Rampage every week, and then
miss
they
people.
pop up on Dynamite, like, oh, who's this guy?
Yeah. That's a problem.
Roosh
Fix
is
it.
good. I just didn't care,
Yeah.
and
I figured Jay White would win anyway.
he's lost so much momentum
Yeah.
from that. Like with that pay-per-view main event where he got buried by MJF.
He got buried. He got buried.
I'm very worried that he's not going to be able to get that momentum back in this tournament because it's a 101. It's a G1 tournament. It's you get out there, you have a really good wrestling match for 15 minutes, then you're done. He can do that, but he's not rebuilding his character through a match. He needs mic time. He needs promo time, which you're not getting in this kind of a tournament. So
No.
that worries me a bit about Jay White. Then there's the Tony Storm title ceremony, which was fantastic. It was
Yeah.
the Oscars. She was in the crowd, surprised when they announced her name that she was the women's champion.
I actually enjoyed this segment.
It was good.
A lot of the other promo work for this Timeless Tony Storm stuff is
You're right
A
over
bit-
there, Booker Teddy.
a bit iffy.
What's your thoughts? Oh, yeah. He's telling us we're talking too much about AEW. He doesn't like it.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
He doesn't watch it enough.
It's his problem.
But yeah, I feel like some of the pre-tape promos that she's been doing for Timeless Tony Storm haven't hit right, but I thought this was fantastic.
It was great. And then Sky Blue walking out mid-ceremony, sort of cutting her off.
Yeah.
There's your
And then
feud,
leading
I
into
guess,
that
but, like,
match.
That's a really cheap way of getting to a feud, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess.
I think, like,
But,
maybe they watched Roman's entrance the other week where LA Knight cut him off and everyone's like, oh, well, that's such a great spot. But, like, that spot was earned.
Yeah, and that was the Tribal Chief's entrance, which is a spectacle in and of itself.
Yeah.
So, but trying to replicate that? No.
Yeah, that's not. Then Sky Blue won a women's triple threat match.
Yeah. My note for this, I feel like this was only to further this whole like love story between Ruby Soho and
And her actual
Angelo
boyfriend.
Parker.
Yeah.
Is that her actual boyfriend? Oh, and they're doing an on-screen relation.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cringe.
Yeah.
That's cringe.
Yeah.
Right, moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the main event, Briscoe versus Moxley. I don't like John Moxley. I like the way that he works in the ring, though.
Yeah.
I don't. Mark Briscoe's
I can
cool.
second that.
I don't overly care for him. I did like the Briscoes. Obviously, there's a lot of emotional support behind him because of what happened with Jay and you know the time that he took off and then now he's back getting all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I just don't think either of these guys are main event guys. They're really good
No.
workers. Throw them in a match, give them 20 minutes, get as many spots as you want, as many suplexes, hard
Yeah, it's a good
chops,
match.
punches. They're great. Just don't care that much.
Yeah.
And Moxley won, which he probably should have.
I thought it was interesting. I agree with commentary. It was very weird to see Briscoe busted open and not John Moxley during the match.
Yep.
Very, very nice surprise. And also, the one thing that I noted in that was at one point Briscoe no-sold
The paradigm
Moxley's
shift.
Yeah,
Yep.
and
I bought that
I
too.
was a bit annoyed about that.
There a couple of times they no-sold some moves.
Yeah.
Which seems to be a
with
Moxley
AEW,
special,
that
though.
is expected.
That's a Moxley special, though.
Yeah.
And then, Moxley won with the stomp. Did you see that?
Yeah, stomped
Stomped
into the
him into
Paradise.
the...
Yeah.
Nah, the Death Rider.
Isn't it the same?
Almost the same move, whatever. I
Well,
don't care.
one of them, he just lifts them up and...
And then it does a twist.
Wow, good innovation there, Moxley.
All right, look, we're not going to be able to talk about Rampage and Collision because it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, has not happened.
So-
we're not going to talk about it either.
Woohoo! That's convenient. But look, decent show of Dynamite. I wouldn't say
Yeah.
it was spectacular. I am excited to see how these blue side of the matches go with Danielson, Claudio,
Yeah,
etc.
so are they going to be on Rampage and
They're on Collision.
Collision, okay. Are they just being shown on Collision?
Yes. So as far as I'm
Which
aware,
we don't get in this stupid country.
Yes, but I've now got on Fight, so we can watch them if we need to.
Okay.
I think
a lot more
that
effort.
the gold bracket is Dynamite, the blue bracket is Collision, and then they'll meet at World's End.
Right.
Is essentially the way that I've understood it.
Okay.
Good, look, couple of decent matches, good MJF.
I thought it was good Dynamite
Great
as well.
Christian promo, go watch the Christian stuff.
Yeah, go watch it. Even if
Otherwise-
you just have to look it up on YouTube, just do it.
Yeah. Otherwise, that was Dynamite.
Yeah, that was Dynamite. Let's get ready for Raw. All right. We open the show with Drew McIntyre in the ring. No entrance, no nothing.
Oh, that's right, it was.
Yeah.
This is all the dark-
so this
the
is
dark
something that you
heel
didn't
nights.
note down?
I have very little notes from Raw.
Okay.
Because I normally just let you and Teddy run the shows. So it's on you.
I feel the pressure. All right. So Drew McIntyre has openly come out and said he is not joining the Judgment Day.
Yeah.
He is there because Rhea Ripley gave him an offer
Yeah.
to get Jey Uso in a
In a
cage.
cage.
So that's it. Done. No emo Drew in Judgment Day. That's disappointing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a thought, what if Rhea peels off from the Judgment Day and does a little side thing with Drew?
Oh, no.
Behind Buddy Murphy's
They're,
back.
they're all... Ooh. Oh, buddy. He had a banger match at Full Gear too. I think all of this is just pointing to... I think that there's a strong possibility at Survivor Series this evening. There's a big beatdown, everyone gets destroyed. Seth Rollins is done after the match is finished because I think Judgment Day wins. Because I think Randy Orton turns on a few different people and causes them to lose.
Yeah.
The cages go up.
We're
Then
getting a cash in.
He cashes in.
Manifest it, people.
He cashes in on Seth
And loses.
and loses because Drew claymores him because Rhea tells him to and they kick Priest out. Then you get the sympathetic Damien Priest that he got screwed over by the Judgment Day. He's now a face. And you kick him out of Judgment Day and you put Drew in his place because he's the actual leader. Because if he just leaves,
I'd be happy with that.
there's no real, why do we care about Damien Priest now?
Yeah.
But if he gets screwed over by the Judgment Day, they take away his money in the bank, they take away his title chance, you instantly
He has
sympathetic
been
to him.
causing a lot of friction in that faction
Yep.
for a while now.
Yeah, that's your story. That's what I'm
Declaring himself as the leader and then they palm it off as, oh no, he's just the leader of the team for...
Yeah, exactly. That's
No.
my call with this, long term.
Yeah.
We'll find out in 3 hours.
Yes, we will. 2 hours. 1 hour.
Well, it won't start with my show, but yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Chop,
no,
we're going to
I
get
get
through
that.
this. We're going to go
Yeah.
to Super Survivor Series.
Okay, well, we've only got Raw, NXT, and SmackDown.
That's
guys.
true.
Calm down.
It's like 4 hours.
So we then had a backstage segment, which I only bring up because I love to make note of the little Rey Mysterio and a horse figurine that they had on the table with the sign that said, I'm a deadbeat dad.
That was great.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Xia Li versus Becky Lynch. Xia Li's entrance is too long. I counted it. It was 50 seconds, and that's 50 seconds too long.
I did, and
She's no tribal chief.
were you here? You weren't here last week, but was it last week when I brought up the Ching Chung China?
I sat there laughing about that when I
I
watched it.
made sure I paid attention this time. She is from Ching Chung China, and that is what they say. So I'm not being racist for the sake of being racist.
It sounds so racist.
It does though.
It sounds when white people say it.
Yes.
Or like non Chinese people.
Oriental people say it.
Yes.
It's
Oriental, that's a nice way of
I'm
putting
not.
it.
Look, I'm just not for this Lyle character. I just
No.
don't. I just don't care.
No.
She hits really hard and kicks people. Good on ya.
So
Congratulations.
the match she's had with Becky on Raw was some of the best work I've seen her do
Okay.
throughout her entire WWE run.
Yeah. Oh look, the
I've
match
been
was
behind the
bad.
character because I was like, yeah, first Chinese female superstar, let's go. And then it's just kind of
They
like,
just booked her horribly.
it seems that she's done that like every time she's been booked on TV with a character. Because
Yeah.
like back in NXT, she was with Bo, whatever his name is.
Dallas.
No, not Bo Dallas.
BoJack Horseman.
No. Another Chinese wrestler who's not been used at all. in NXT.
Clearly, I've got no idea who they are.
And then there was another like mystical sort of like lady that was with him on a chair that would like command them and do shit. But
They
like,
had some weird segment on NXT last week where they were drinking tea.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, Xia Li and who's the champion? Lyra Valkyria. Lyra.
That's a bit weird.
Yeah, they had a weird.
And then it had a match on NXT this week.
Yeah,
we'll
but
get to later.
To do that, they had an ancient tea ceremony thing. That was weird.
Yeah.
That was weird.
But like, the Xia vs Becky match was better than I suspected. I really liked the double count out spot that they went for, where both rolled in just before the
They
count
both
at
shouldn't
10.
be counted out though.
But they made it back in the ring.
No, but like
I feel like the double count out would have been a great finish because, one, Xia Li had an NXT title match on Tuesday.
correct.
Two, Becky Lynch is Becky Lynch.
And she's going into Survivor Series.
Exactly.
Neither of them should have lost.
No. But what had happened? Becky won. Xia lost, leading into an NXT championship match, which meant,
Which I assume-
of course, she's not going to win.
I haven't watched NXT, but I assume she loses, right?
Yes.
So, but
And the
that's
match
horrible
was
booking. Why would you
honestly-
do that?
I don't know. WWE. Woo. We love it. We love it, but we also hate it
Triple H
sometimes.
loves his women's division. Oi.
At least he can book one. Yeah, so after the match, the women's war games team came out for a brawl. And Dakota was just standing there chilling because she's got
'Cause she
her
can't brawl.
knee brace.
Yeah, that's
But I saw an interesting theory from this chick that I follow on TikTok who's based in New Zealand. She reckons that we might get Dakota Kai kicking Bailey out during the War Games match.
I'm taking a spot.
No, just kicking her out.
just
So, like,
kidding.
you look at one of the first War Games matches we had on NXT with women in it. Tegan Nox had just come back from injury and was partnering with Dakota Kai at the time. And
Okay.
Dakota Kai comes out. She starts to run down the ramp, turns around and turns on her, beats the shit out of her, and that eliminates a member from the
Oh,
team that
I
she
think
was
I
supposed
should
to be
remember
on.
that match.
Yeah.
Because
And then, she ended up turning on Raquel Rodriguez.
Gonzalez at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then attacked her again like a year after that. So she's got a history of turning on people. So I feel
but she
like
also has a-
she's going to be the one that kicks Bailey out.
Okay.
And then
Ted's
maybe
determined
Sasha
the
Banks is coming back. Who knows?
Kabuki Warriors.
We'll see what happens. Anything
No,
you
I
want
don't
down
have anything else.
before we move?
Then there was the next comment I've got down is the women's tag match. The number one.
You
contenders.
completely missed out Kaiser versus Gargano. It was a match. It was a match. I think Kaiser's strut is a bit ridiculous. He's very...
I just the
Cocky
way
up
that they're
and-
flipping like all the tension was on Vinci because Vinci was not good enough, so Kaiser was looking. Now they're flipping it so it's all on Kaiser and Vinci's gonna look like it's just. I get what you're trying to do. I get you building the tension. You're
Yeah.
just dragging this along, but like I just don't care about it right now.
Yeah.
We all know where this leads.
Giovanni
eventually,
ended up coming out and costing Kaiser the victory.
with a cheeky smirk,
Yeah.
and he knew exactly what he was doing. And then Gunther said, "Good job to him." You're like,
Yeah.
that didn't make sense. From
I
Gunther.
think Kaiser's getting too big-headed. I think that's what they're trying to play, so Gunther's trying to knock him back down.
Yeah, which is fair.
In line with Vinci. Because
Yeah.
he's starting to think of himself as above Vinci.
Yeah, okay.
So he needs to
Knock
knock him back down a bit. But yeah, Kaiser and Gargano have some great chemistry. I'd love to see
But he's not called Johnny Wrestling for nothing.
well, Kaiser as well. He's good in the ring. He's
Yeah.
got some really good antics. Like some of the spots where like Gargano would like do a move on him and then he'd like sit back up and be like, "Where is he?" And he'd just come from the side and attack him. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, no, he's
So after that, yeah, the women's tag title match for the number one contenders. Chelsea Green is
Chelsea
fantastic at the
Green!
moment. I love everything she does.
I love the whole time that she was calling Michael Cole Matthew.
Yeah, just a stir.
So
fantastic.
good.
But yeah, we got Natty and Tegan won.
So the comments that I've got on this match, I wrote that they won, obviously.
Yeah.
Tegan and Natalia have new matching ring gear. So
that means they're
now
officially
officially tag team because they've got matching gear. And I think Michael Cole called them the shiniest hearts.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I'm just gonna let that sit for a minute, just so we all know how horrible of a name that is.
Yeah, terrible.
Because
Agreed.
like, what's your thoughts on this,
Ted?
Ray Teddy? Where you know how much you
I don't
love.
think it's very good at all.
You don't think it's a good name, but you love the Shining Wizard. It's one of your favourite moves.
I've never heard of that move in my life.
Yeah, that's right. You didn't, idiot. But yeah, as soon as they came out with a name and with matching ring gear, they were winning that match for sure.
I think Maxine and Ivy Nile have.
Maxine
good
was
potential.
so good in
She
that
was
match.
so good in this match.
The thank you moments that they had.
I think
Stole
they've
the
got
show.
some great potential going forward.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
All right, after this, Gunther and The Miz have their face-off. The only note I've
This
got,
was good.
Gunther was absolutely cooking Miz on the
He
mic. though.
cooked him. Mike
cooked him.
Mizanin. You got bullied when you came in. You get bullied now. Whatever
I
he said.
thought when he
Much better
started
than that.
like actually bullying him and like shouldering him and stuff, I thought that was a bit. Yeah.
It was
I
a-
get what they were trying
a
to
bit.
go with, but like just beat him up. Just beat him up.
But
Over
they
and
gave
done
Miz the moment at the end where he hits the skull crushing finale. He stands over the top, holding the title over the top of him. So you know he's losing at the pay per view.
Yeah, probably.
But that was
I'm
a good
suspending my disbelief though. Miz to be most decorated Intercontinental Champion.
Well, what's the stats now? Because Gunther's 513 days.
Yeah.
And Miz is
at
at
8.
He's at 8 times. It's 589 days total reigns. So Gunther's about to catch him. The other key point that I think that they said a few different times was that Miz, if he wins again, he'll be the most. He'll tie the championship reign for the most Intercontinental title.
which is Chris Jericho. So
But they don't say Chris Jericho.
yes, but we know it's Chris Jericho.
But they won't say
And
it.
that's why I'm choosing to think that the Miz is going to win because they want to erase him from
Out of the
WWE
record
history
books.
because that's what they do.
They do.
That's what they do.
Yep. Ask the honky tonk man.
Yeah.
The honky tonk man.
What have we got? What was it? Chad Gable versus Shinsuke Nakamura?
Shinsuke Nakamura.
Good match. Good match.
I said that Cole called him Angle twice.
Yep, I got that. Chad Angle.
Chad Angle.
I
It's all.
mean,
jokes
it
and
must be so
waxes.
confusing having two wrestlers throughout history that have been in the Olympics.
Yes.
Only one of them being a gold medalist.
But they
it's,
both
It's
wear
going to be
the
easy
same-
to confuse them.
They both wear the same kind of ring gear.
Yeah,
They both do the same
they're
Germans.
completely
They both do the
different.
ankle lock.
Different. Yeah, he only does the ankle lock because that's what Kurt Angle did.
I only give Michael Cole a pass on that one.
Oh, yeah, right.
But it was a great. There was a couple of spots. I really liked one where he rolled through one of the Shinsuke kicks, caught him, rolled him through to the ankle lock. That was a really
Yeah,
nice
that was
spot.
really nice. Chad Gable did this really weird crucifix move that I've never seen before in my life. I thought that was really interesting. So let's see more innovative moves like that. I feel like I've seen a couple of different things like that this week where it's like they will set up for another move and then do something else. Like I think I've got one for maybe it was NXT or something. Someone went for like a gory Guerrero stretch. And then it was in one of the NXT tag matches, which I'll touch on later, but he's gone into gory stretch and his partners flipped over the top rope and done like a blockbuster with the snare.
Yeah.
So let's see more innovative
be
moves,
innovative.
people. I know it like we're in
like wrestling's-
2023 and wrestling's been around for
60 years, 70 years.
yeah.
Whatever.
It's hard to these days, but let's do it. Let's as a fan base,
Let's do it.
Tell them to do better because they're going to listen to us. I did like the ending where they teased the turnbuckle spot, but didn't actually
Oh,
do
they
it.
stopped on it? Yeah.
Fantastic. Good way to end the match. Then we topped off the night with Drew versus Jey Uso.
I didn't
Which
even
is
put
like-
comments, so this match was fine. It
Yeah,
was
it was-
all
it
there
was a
just for the
match.
end of the story.
After the match, Drew won, of course, so Judgment Day's got the advantage
Which
for
the
War
heels
Games.
should have.
Yes, correct. So I'll be surprised if Damage Control do not get the advantage today because it's fan shows.
Correct.
So let's hope they just
I have heard
fans choose
I have
Damage
heard a
Control.
story though that there's a possibility that the fans choose the baby faces, Charlotte and all that, but to still get the advantage that pre-show, and I'm sorry Shotzi, but no one cares, and you're definitely sticking out like the sore thumb in this match. Like,
Oh,
you're
she
not,
really is.
you're not the quality of everybody else in that ring.
No.
That Damage Control injure Shotzi before the match even starts, so they're already a person down. So
Yeah.
even though they have the advantage,
They
they still
don't
have a
Yeah.
disadvantage.
No. And then maybe someone makes a surprise return to
Or
come
you
on
throw
their
Jake
team.
Cargill into Survivor Series.
Oh.
Cargill into War Games.
Well, we haven't seen her for a few weeks. I wonder what they're doing. I know you guys touched on it last week that the WWE is apparently unhappy with her in-ring performance.
Just what we told.
Look. I was watching it and I kind of get it because I saw those articles too and I was like, they wouldn't hire her in the first place without seeing her work.
I agree.
So-
She's going to get a mad push. She's going to fight Charlotte or somebody at WrestleMania. She's going to have a big match.
Yeah.
Before you get to the main event, the one thing I want to touch on now that we're just talking about all the women's stuff, the point that I wrote down here was that on Raw, Tony Khan, take note. I know you watch our podcast. Listen to this. On
Yeah.
Raw, and Raw alone, there was 28 women on the show. There were 6 segments for the females across the entirety of Raw, and over 40 minutes of the 3-hour show was based on the women.
That's how you do it.
All 3 sets of the titles were highlighted. So the tag team, the women's champion stuff with Rhea and Zoe Stark showing up in the Judgment Day
Yep.
little locker room and stuff.
Yeah.
And the NXT stuff, because Lyra Valkyria was there watching
Xylee and Becky.
Xylee's match.
And we
even
also had
technically, Io Sky showed up with the
title.
other
Raw.
title in the Brawl part. So all 4 titles were on there.
showcased. Good on
28 women.
Top notch. That's how you book women's division.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, that main event. Drew won. Rhea tells Drew to finish Jay off, and then they all come out for a brawl, and of course they do.
Cody says.
And then Cody says,
Someone I've got a legacy with.
yeah, you're looking at us like we're prey. No. We're not prey because we've got the apex predator on our team.
I know
He
you're all
never
hearing
actually
things.
said. He never actually said Randy Orton.
You're hearing voices in your head,
Yeah.
and the crowd was just chanting Randy. Like,
Yeah.
without- and he goes,
and he's
"They
like,
know."
they're right. But he didn't actually say Randy Orton.
But
so
the dumb part was that
a mysterious figure is going to take out Randy Orton.
half an hour later, on
And then,
Twitter though,
then-
we put the picture up with Randy Orton on there. Oh, he's showing up for Shinsuke, mate. Don't worry about it. He's going to be there.
I've heard rumors that Shinsuke's opponent is actually going to be Brock, and they're going to rehash their New Japan feud.
I'd take Brock. I've also heard AJ Styles.
Yeah.
I
No,
got-
I don't want more Shinsuke and AJ. Their past feud was terrible enough as it was.
Too many low blows.
No, it was just like they had 4 matches. One of them was good. The WrestleMania match that everyone was hyped for.
It's too early
which-
for Brock to come back, isn't it?
Fuck.
Yeah, look, I'll take it.
If he's going to get paid, which he will,
Oh, of course he will.
he'll do whatever.
Yeah.
But that could be lead up to Rumble. But yeah.
I did like though the camera focusing on Jay.
Yes, that was one thing I wanted to mention because the last time Randy was in WWE before he got injured, he was getting taken out by the Bloodline. So
Correct.
Jay's not happy about Randy
Because they
being
took
fifth
the
partner.
titles off RK Bro, didn't they?
Yes, correct. So it's going to be interesting to see how that dynamic plays out today.
Good luck editing this, Teddy. There's lots of motorbikes this morning.
That's all right. Noise usually cancels them out, doesn't it?
Yeah, we're just testing Ted's editing skills here.
I will know,
Yeah.
as from a fan perspective for last week's episode, because I wasn't on it,
Oh, you were.
the editing was a lot better.
Oh, I love the
Lots of
pictures and
new
stuff
little
up. Yeah.
loved it. Like this little
Keep it going.
swooping in. Yeah,
Keep going, Ted.
Keep it up,
I'm
Ted.
proud of you.
We love you.
You
and we
did a
miss you.
wicked job on it.
We're wicked. What would King do? Oh, that's right. You guys haven't seen that movie. Never mind.
Okay. NXT.
All right, I'm going to try and cover this as quickly as I can because I'm
Please do.
sure we're running out of time. Right, Gable versus Noam Dar for the Heritage Cup. It's kicked off the
Oh,
show.
because this was like they had
Because I missed last week's
Tozawa,
NXT.
then what's his face? Then it was Otis. Now it's Gable.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
but I think it was just a match. It wasn't the Heritage Cup match with Otis.
Okay. Yeah, because
Anyway.
Tozawa had the match for it. Yeah.
Round 1 was slow, no pinfall.
Oh, this is a stupid round thing.
Round
Yep.
2, Gable was up for most of the Metaphor interfered, helped Noam Dar get the first 4.
Yep.
Round 3 was during an ad break. Most of it got cut off. No fall. Round 4, lots of back and forth. Gable hit a huge diving headbutt, which was fantastic, but again, no fall.
It's such a dumb move.
Round 5, Gable came out very strong, hit the rolling German for the pin.
Uh-huh.
After the match, Noam Dar attacked Gable from behind, so that set up the tiebreaker for the final round in round 6.
Yep.
Dar came out strong, turned the diving headbutt from Gable into a triangle choke, which was a fantastic
okay.
sequence, and then he reversed the triangle choke into a powerbomb,
Yeah.
like a one-armed powerbomb.
Yeah.
Chad Gable is an absolute
He's a beast.
unit.
He's a beast.
He locked in the ankle lock, but time ran out. So
it's
Noam Dar
draw?
retained the
Oh,
cup
'cause
because it's a draw. Yeah, it's a draw. We then had Edris Enofe and Malik Blade versus Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo. I'm only touching on this because that's where the gory...
Yep. And that's because
And
you're going to pump them up to
Blockbuster?
throw them on SmackDown.
Yes.
Yep.
Seen some rumors that they're going to be joining Santos Escobar and and reforming Legado del Fantasma.
All for it.
Yeah, all for it. I just think it's funny that he's got an LWO tattoo now and he's going to be feuding
And he even
against them.
said it to Khalid. He goes, "You're not
That's,
family. you're
that's the
in a tattoo."
dumbest thing. But yeah, they had some good spots in that match. It was
Yeah.
very interesting. The finisher for Garza and Carrillo did a pop-up. So, like, picture Kevin Owens doing the pop-up powerbomb.
Yep.
Carrillo pops him up, and then Garza does a knee. And that was the finish.
Like a Daniel Bryan flying knee type thing, or like a backstabber knee.
no,
or...
just like a jumping knee.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was
not great.
yeah.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
I'm not set on it. I don't think it was executed as well as it could have been, so it didn't look that great.
Okay.
Josh Briggs versus Carmelo Hayes in Iron Survivor match. So
So these are the ones where the former champions and stuff are picking the matches.
yeah,
right?
so I think it was JBL chose this week. So it
This
was
was later last week, I remember.
Briggs and Hayes, and
So
then
I've
for
never
the
heard of
women it
Briggs.
was Thea Hale and Blair Davenport.
Don't care about any of them.
Anyway, Briggs and Hayes had a fantastic match.
Well, because it's Mello.
Yeah, Mello
don't
is
miss.
money.
Mello don't miss.
Oh no, that's Mello is money. My bad.
Mello is money.
Maybe
Mello.
Carmelo Hayes should just steal Carmelo's saying
Silly.
because she's
Well,
off with a child now.
she's not doing anything with it right
Congratulations again. Yeah, great match. I'm just going to breeze past this. Briggs ended up winning because Lexis King came in and distracted Carmelo Hayes. So they're going to
So they
continue
still
that as
keep
a
that feud going.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Thea Hale versus Blair Davenport. Really quick match. Blair Davenport was on top for most of the match. Thea started making a comeback. And then because of all this stuff happening with Chase
Because
U,
she's the one from Chase U, right?
yeah, so the Chase U members in the crowd started walking out and she was like, whoa, what is everyone doing? And then she cost herself the match because she's an idiot.
Yeah. Because wrestlers, if anything happens outside of the ring, they have to be distracted by it. They can't
Yeah,
focus on their
100%.
own match.
100%.
They just can't.
So we then had Charlie Dempsey and Eddie Thorpe in a match, which was, yeah.
Sure.
Keep an eye out for Charlie Dempsey in the future. He's William Regal's son, and he's very technically
Oh,
sound. So
okay.
That's the only reason why I wanted to touch on that match.
Yep, no, fair.
He did lose, though. Eddie Thorpe won, which is unfortunate. And then for the main event, which Lyra Valkyrie versus Xia Li always should have been the main event.
Yes.
They were going to have it earlier in the night before the tag match, I think it was.
Yeah.
And then Xia Li attacked Lyra during her entrance.
Gotta stop doing that, man. You're not going to get matches if you keep injuring people.
Yeah. So then
They're
it was
supposed to win
it was
titles.
the whole like I didn't like her selling of the kick. It looked very like she was like trying to get up and she was like I don't know. I didn't like it. So did the whole spiel getting checked out by the doctors backstage. No, I'm still gonna fight. I'm a fighting champion. Yada yada yada. So yeah,
So they watched MJF
Here's the match.
the week before.
yeah.
Oh,
probably.
we can do that storyline too.
Yeah, we can do it, but without women who
Yeah.
will book better.
But she didn't drive an ambulance in because women can't drive.
But yeah, it was a match. Like after Xia Li lost on Raw to Becky.
Yeah, she's never winning this.
I knew she wasn't going to win,
Yeah.
so I just didn't pay a lot of attention. But it was a good match, decent match. Not as good as the Becky Lynch one though. So that's NXT. Breezed through it.
Time for SmackDown.
SmackDown. He's back. He came back,
He's back.
and by back we mean Corey Graves. He's back on commentary. Hooray!
I mean, I would be happy if Kevin Owens had stayed because he was great.
Yeah, that would have been really
Road
good.
Dogg not so much, but-
No. I saw some highlights from SmackDown and I was like, ugh.
Yeah, it wasn't good. I noticed there was the War Games promo for the women. Great,
Yeah.
yeah. The story. And then
Shotzi.
Shotzi should not be there. The way that she overreacted and was
Very
oh
cringy.
my god.
So I was watching SmackDown. My partner was in the kitchen cooking lunch or whatever.
Yeah.
And she was like, who the hell was that was just on the screen? I was like, that's Shotzi. She's a bit cringe. She shouldn't be in there.
Ever since they shaved my head and bullied me, like
No.
I'm not.
I
for it.
get what
Sorry.
they're trying to do, but like,
They're trying to give her the rub of everybody else, but like you can even see when Becky and I looked at her like, "You're okay, sweetie.
Yes.
We get you. It's fine." Not
That-
great. Then we had technical difficulties and a whole bunch of stuff cut out, and there was no
yeah,
sound
so
for a
there
while.
was a backstage promo with Damage Control, which I completely missed because there was
We
no
didn't hear
sound.
it.
And then when that got resolved and it came back on the air, we were partway into the Judgment Day Street Profit match.
Yes,
for me.
which again was a match that it's fine that it's there, but there's no way Judgment Day's losing the tag titles the night before. They're in War Games.
How has it been nearly 3 years since Street Profits had the titles last? That seems crazy.
Yeah. Okay.
They said that on commentary. I was like, hang on a second. Hasn't been that long, has it? That's pandemic era. That's like Thunderdome type shit. Like
Yeah,
that
it
really
is.
shit.
Well, you mean you had the Usos, you had
And that's
Pedro,
what I kind of
and-
realized. I was like, yeah, Usos, right.
Yeah, they had it for a fair while, and New Day, and I did put in the commentary that they said that when the Street Profits hit the revelation on Priest,
They didn't get it very well.
they didn't hit it very well, but the commentators just said, "Yikes!"
Yeah.
They didn't sell it. They didn't like, "Oh my god, they've hit the revelation." They're just like, "Yikes!"
Yeah, because it didn't look good. And then they
And-
were like, oh, they didn't get all of that.
Kevin Patrick was like, "Did you see that?" Yes, we did.
Oh,
Kevin. We're
he's-
watching the TV, mate. Thanks, Kevin.
3-person commentary teams is too much. Just have 2 people.
To see that though, Just see that move.
Yeah.
Just see what he hit him with there.
That's his thing. Like I say, fantastic.
Just see that move.
That's Kevin Patrick. Can't trust people with 2 first names.
We made that same joke last week, Chris. It's great. One other comment I put on this match was obviously the Judgment Day won.
Yeah. The finish was
And
good.
they finished was a nice finish with the coup de grace.
The tombstone
Damian Priest
slam,
had him
thank
up
you.
for a tombstone, and then slammed him down, like did a front slam.
Something different.
Just tombstone him. Just tombstone.
No, just
You've got the tombstone.
they're not AEW, okay? They're not going to use it as a generic move.
Because AEW, he would have done the tombstone. They would have hit the coup de grace. Then he would have kicked out at 2.
Yeah, 100%. All right, Grayson Waller effect after.
I did. Oh, before we get to that, I loved that they showed B-Fab and Bobby Lashley getting angry. Who cares? When
was B-Fab out there? I didn't even freaking know.
that's B-Fab. Yeah, she's talking with.
No, I didn't even see her out there.
I don't know what they're doing. No, they were backstage.
Oh, backstage.
Because
I missed that.
the comment I think about this is like Bobby's getting cranky that they're losing. Why the hell aren't you at ringside helping him out, bro?
Yeah, I thought he was.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, I obviously wasn't paying enough
I did
attention.
love the part when Tez was they'd finished and Tez obviously took the pin, and then Rhea Ripley walked up to him and was barking at him.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Oh, I love Rhea so much.
So good.
Okay, that's all I wanted to just bring Mummy up on the show
yeah.
again.
So we had Grayson Waller effect. Calls out the special guest, Kevin Owens, back from suspension. But Austin Theory comes out dressed as Kevin Owens, which I thought it looked fantastic. He was doing the actions and everything perfectly.
He did a really good job.
He really fooled Corey Graves. Corey Graves just
Couldn't
thought
tell.
Kevin Owens had gotten a tan and got more fit.
Yeah. He's been working on his arms. Look at his arms.
Yeah, it wasn't until he got in the ring that he realised it was Austin Theory. Well, this was actually a really good promo, which also led to a pretty good match, I'd say.
Yeah, I think the best part about the promo was how when KO does walk out and they're like, we just wanted to dress him up and make fun of you. And he goes, what do you make fun of me? That's the best I've looked in years.
It was great.
I thought that was really funny. But I just love Kevin Owens as the white friend, man. He's so good.
And then keeping the thing going, you can't say the name too much, otherwise you'll, you know what happens when you say their name so much? And they're like,
I think he's talking about LA Knight. LA Knight.
Music hits. they come out and Kevin Owens is joking about punching them both in the face again, so they're like, what if we get them first? Yeah, we'll punch them in the face. And then they're standing there talking, like Austin Theory and Grayson Waller talking to themselves, like, hyping themselves up. Kevin turns to LA and is like, do you want to just punch him in the face first? And he was like, yeah. And then they went into it, started throwing shit out of the ring. Kevin broke a few pot plants, I noticed.
Yeah, that was a bit much. What did the plants ever do to you?
Yeah, come on, Kevin. Not fair.
He's clearly not a horticulturalist.
This, of course, stop. I missed something. Let's not forget that LA Knight was calling Austin Theory A-Town Clown.
That was good.
I thought that was fantastic.
I also didn't like that the commentators were calling LA Knight the Defiant one.
Were they?
Yeah, so if you notice on his jacket, he was walking down now, it's got the word Defiant on it.
I did notice that.
They're trying to give him a new thing. I guarantee you
He's got a lot of things. I don't think
within
he
1 or
needs
2
another thing
weeks,
yet.
there'll be the Defiant 1 t-shirt on WWEshop.com and everyone's going to go.
And I'll buy it.
Yeah.
So this, of course, led to the match. Tag match, KO and LA Knight versus A-Town Down Under, which I still love that name. I still love them as a tag team.
I love it. And now, again, like we talked about with Natty and Tegan, they have matching green.
Different shades, but I get you.
Both in green.
We need to see them wearing the same gear. Get Austin Theory in a pair of those like boxing shorts.
Nah, he won't wear them. As long as all you need is Austin Theory to have the sparkles, like what Grayson's shorts have.
Yeah.
If they match that in the same colour, we're good.
So
I didn't
moving forward
care
from
about
that match, like one of the things I wanted to note was LA Knight's power slam thing that he did.
Yeah.
So he got them in the power slam, which you fall forward with them and slam them on the mat.
That's how power slam works.
He just threw him backwards.
Yeah.
I question to think whether that was planned or not, whether that was just like a botch.
Who knows?
I don't know.
The only comment I put was the finish.
Again, interesting move,
Was
but
that Theory sold the BFT the best I've seen it in weeks.
yeah, that was another thing that I was
Very
gonna
good.
note. Yeah, that's how you sell the BFT to make
He
it look like a good
planted
finisher.
himself like head first.
Yeah,
Spiked himself.
RBD style.
Let's roll through this quickly because we can wrap it up so we can go watch Survivor Series.
Yeah. We still got 40 minutes.
Yeah, but I don't want to rush this.
So they had a little backstage segment with Becky Lynch.
There's tension between the two of them. Good on them.
I like the fact that she was like, yeah, I'm cool, Becky Lynch. And then that transitioned into Carlito. So you think you're cool?
Yeah, that was
nice,
nice.
nice little transition.
That was nice.
Great heel work from Santos Escobar coming out during Carlito's promo.
I didn't realise it was 13 years since his last pay-per-view match.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, I knew he'd been off TV and he'd left WWE for a while, but I didn't know it was 13 years.
That's a long time. So yeah, they get in a brawl because of course they do. They get separated by officials.
I
Santos
do like
Escobar.
this spot.
This is what I wrote down. So Santos Escobar goes back up the ramp, and they're still trying to restrain Carlito near the stairs. But Santos comes running through the crowd and knees Carlito's shoulder from behind from the barricade.
Yeah, great.
Excellent.
You think
move.
he's gone. And the reason that I think that was so well done was that they didn't switch the camera from Carlito.
Yeah.
So they didn't show the ramp like, oh, he's coming back.
No, because he was gone.
He's gone.
I thought he was gone. I was like, oh yeah, they're about to go to commercial.
Yep.
Nope.
Correct. I liked it.
Took him out.
The spot backstage, though, where he kept hitting him and then Dragon Lee made the save and did the Hurricane Rana on Santos, that was a bit botchy, but, I'll take it. And now he's taken the match because he went to Nick Aldis and said, I want to take the match.
Yeah. So
are you more excited?
Is this a pre-show?
No, that's the pay-per-view.
Actually on the card? No.
Are you more excited for Dragon Lee Santos or Santos Carlito?
Santos Dragon Lee.
I think it'll be better in ring.
Yeah. It's going to be a better match. Two luchadors fighting. Yeah. Like, I get the whole Carlito thing, but two very different styles. But I feel like with Santos and Dragon Lee, they're going to be able to really play off each other. And we're going to get a lot of great spots in this match.
I think so.
So after that, Pretty Deadly versus Brawling Brutes.
Why? Why again?
That was one of my first thoughts. And then I was like, why did Ridge just storm past Butch? And then they showed the highlight from last week. And I was like, okay, that explains that part.
And Ridge
ended up just walking out on Butch, who put on a good effort after he left, but of course didn't end it.
For the love of God, Triple H, this is your moment now that you make him Pete Dunne, you get rid of Ridge, and you push Pete Dunne to the moon.
Yes.
Please.
Please? Pretty please. Cherries.
Because, like you said, he was good. He held his own against Pretty Deadly by himself.
He got pinned with a roll-up, a surprise roll-up.
Yeah.
So
push Pete Dunne.
Yeah.
Please.
Pete Dunne, not Butch.
Yeah.
Pete
we don't
Dunne.
need Ridge anymore.
We need
Ridge
Pete Dunne back.
And you push Pete Dunne for whatever you want, whatever storyline, give him some wins. You start pushing him, making him look good, and then a returning Sheamus.
Yeah.
There's your match.
Yeah. So then we had the main event of the evening, Charlotte and Becky versus Asuka and Bayley.
Well, before you get to that, there's that backstage chat between Shotzi and Charlotte. Where Shotzi was like, oh, I was, bullied, and then remember when you came and told me, and then Charlotte's like, oh, you are beautiful, you've always been, don't you make me cry. Did you not see that bit?
Oh, as soon as I saw Shotzi walk on the screen, I switched off, and thank God I did.
It was cringy because all it was Charlotte.
They're trying to give Shotzi the rub of everyone else.
But they're also trying to give Charlotte the rub of the crowd. Like, oh, she cares so much about Shotzi. She's going to cry.
Do you reckon it's going to be Becky turning on Charlotte or Charlotte turning on Becky?
Oh, I don't know.
I know we expect Randy to turn on Jay and Cody.
Let's make this happen, okay? Bianca turns on all of them. Goes with the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley. We want a Bianca heel turn. Let's do it.
Not going to happen. I would love for that to happen.
That would be the best outcome of all of them.
It's not going to happen. But yeah, I feel like they were playing too much towards the whole tension in the past between Becky and Charlotte for something not to happen in this.
Oh, absolutely.
Something's going to happen.
Like I just said to you this morning, I woke up and I turned on the WWE
I hope it's
channel.
not Becky turning on Charlotte.
Well,
I hope it's the other way around because Charlotte is a better heel.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Charlotte has to go heel. Yeah. We need that.
If she's going to be a likable heel, that's fine. I don't care. But she needs to play the heel character. She doesn't play a good babyface.
Turning on the channel this morning, what were they showing before Survivor Series was starting? It was Women's Evolution from 2018.
Yeah.
Which was
Becky versus
Charlotte.
Yeah. But yeah, one thing I did notice during that match, Charlotte's top rope moonsault is terrible.
Oh,
she does a flip and then lands on her feet.
Fine,
and
but when she's up against EO and a whole bunch of other ones now that are so much better.
The crowd was already chanting CM Punk. I noticed that during the match, and I was like,
"You're not going to stop at WWE."
Give the women a bit more credit.
We want it.
I get it, but you've got Charlotte, Becky, Asuka, and Bayley, 4 of the best women's wrestlers in WWE in the ring. Give them a bit of respect. Don't start that just yet.
It's the same as the what chance. Stop doing what chance to people. When
it gets a bit old. It was good back in the day. It's good at times, but yeah, it gets a bit old sometimes. Yeah, so Becky hit the manhandle slam, Charlotte speared Asuka into the pin to accidentally break it up.
And then there's that
which
more
is
tension.
And then, more tension. Bailey pushed Becky into Charlotte and then rolled up Becky. Damage control got the win.
Yep.
Nice
Which
way
is
to
the right
cap
thing
off
to
the
show.
Yeah. Nice way to cap off the show. Gives them a lot of tension moving into that babyface team for the War Games match.
Yep. And then hopefully someone injuring Shotzi and her not that, or like I know she was in the NXT War Games matches. Shotzi's either there to take the pre-match destruction, or just be every bump in that match. I don't see Charlotte
I've seen
the big bumps.
I saw some of her work when she joined NXT. One of the spots that I remember seeing, she did a tope suicida through the ropes.
Okay, yeah.
Into a stack of about 10 chairs. And it looked ridiculous.
Okay.
Like she dived through the ropes, hit the chairs, and instead of just like going through them with the momentum and like crashing into them, when she hit it changed her momentum and she like
bounced
moved in the air and then crumpled onto the chairs. It looked hideous, but I fully expect her to take some massive bumps in this match.
So too. I think there's going to be some
given what
bumps
I've seen from her
matches.
in the past.
All right, Rowdy Racing.
Yeah.
We're finished.
Yeah.
No games. There's
Let's do the call out.
Let's do our predictions. So, first match on the card we assume is the women's.
It's been confirmed. Women's
match.
War Games match.
Your
So
prediction.
Damage Control is winning.
Damage Control is winning. Shotzi takes the pin.
Easily.
Yeah.
Or there's some sort of tension between Becky and Charlotte and they'll cost their team the win.
Yeah, I think there'll be tension between Becky and Charlotte. I think that Damage Control has to win this.
Yeah.
Right? If you want to be a big heel faction, you have to do it.
Especially now that they've got Asuka and Kairi Sane in there.
Yes.
Like you've got 5 people. They can't not win
And
this match.
I don't want the tension of Bailey costing them the match and then kicking Bailey out right now. I think you need to drag that on. Drag that on a bit more. So, Damage Control wins.
Yeah.
Santos Dragon Lee.
Santos needs to start giving him some momentum.
Yep, I agree. I think Santos needs to win that match. I think it was much more clear cut when it was Carlito Santos because I think Carlito could eat the pin a whole lot easier.
Yeah.
I think Dragon Lee needs a win.
I think there'll be some close falls for Dragon Lee, but
Santos wins this.
with some sketchy stuff because he's a heel, of course.
Gunther versus Miz.
I'm going to go with Miz.
Risky.
They're going to tie the record.
Yeah.
And then they're going to wipe Jericho off the record
eventually that'll
books.
happen for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's now. I think Gunther retains.
I'm going to suspend my disbelief.
Well, I'm happy for you. I'm suspending mine that CM Punk's showing up at some point too. Rhea versus Zoe Stark. We haven't really talked about it much. Rhea wins this pretty easily, right?
Yeah, easily.
Like, unfortunately,
I hope it's a good match because some of the Zoe's work I've seen is really good.
Yeah,
like
I
when
agree.
she's got a good opponent to actually do work.
but she's not
with.
beating Rhea.
No.
Yeah. And then the men's War Games match. Team Cody versus Judgment Day.
This one's a bit of a tough one.
It's going to close. Oh, I
It's
mean,
gonna
also,
close.
do we want to throw in the 6th match of the Shinsuke Nakamura Open Challenge to CM Punk showing up?
Well, if that's going to happen, it's CM Punk's going to win.
Yes. God, I can't wait. It's not going to happen. I know it, but still.
You just got to accept it.
Yeah.
There's too
We're
much
going to come back
on.
and we're going to do the Survivor Series podcast after we've watched it. And I'm either still going to be wearing this t-shirt for a reason or I'm going to change. And you'll know why.
Look, I think baby faces have to win. They need to put the rubber stamp on this feud. With the baby faces winning, I feel like that's it.
Yep, okay.
It's done. No more interaction between Judgment Day and any of these 5
I can accept
characters. But I would prefer the Judgment Day to win.
So I think the baby faces win. Because they're going to want to send everybody off with the big finish, right?
Yeah. Especially now that Randy's back.
And then there's a bit of tension in the match between Randy and Jay, and Sammy's the peacekeeper, keeps everyone together. He's all nice. Bit of tension between Seth and Cody, but they hold it together. They win the match.
Yeah.
The cages go up at the end. Everyone's sort of happy. They start finishing. Randy then RKO's Jay because he gets a chance to, and then Sammy goes up to him and goes, "What are you doing?" We're supposed to be teams. Bang, RKO on Sammy. Then Seth's like, "What did you do that for?" Bang, RKO on Seth. And then Cody's
The whole
like,
team.
"Whoa." And then he goes to RKO Cody and he pushes him away. And then they have a little bit of a to and fro. And then he RKO's Cody. There's your Randy heel turn.
Yeah.
They've all got the shits at him. And then you're going to
But it's going to be a heel turn, but we're all going to freaking love
Absolutely,
it.
we're going to pop so hard. But Cody, what happens post this, right? Seth's the heavyweight champion, so he can have matches against whoever, right?
Yeah.
Jay's got all this stuff with Drew that's still happening, so he's still in a feud to a degree with Judgment Day at some point. And I reckon you switch from Cody and Jay to Sammy and Jay, and they have the Judgment Day stuff. So you've got Seth in the matches. Then who doesn't have anything coming out of Survivor Series?
Cody
Rhodes. So who does he feud with?
Cody and Randy
Legacy.
to tide him over until he makes the jump to SmackDown
Correct.
to then win the chamber and face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania.
Absolutely correct. Nailed it. Spot on. We're all in agreement. All right, let's go
Wrap
watch
it
Survivor
up.
Series.
Wrap it
ladies
up in a
and
little
gentlemen.
bow.
Tied it up.
Acknowledge me.
All right, that's been the podcast for the week.
How does Teddy usually wrap this up?
I don't remember. Ray Ted, any thoughts, any last discussion points that you want to bring up for the crowd? All on board with me.
All
ladies
on
and
board.
gentlemen.
Let's go.
Good work.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We have been Daniel Danielson, Booker Teddy there, Rowdy Roddy Reese, Down Under the Mat podcast. Looking forward to seeing you next time. Thanks. Scissor me, Danielson.